Welcome to our first Family Cafe school team training session. In this session, you will gain understanding of what the Family Cafe is all about.
Here's what to expect in our first session together. First, we'll start with a welcome and introductions. Then learn what Family Cafe is all about. You will learn about highly mobile students. We will explore the Family Cafe framework. Then move into family engagement information and strategies. We will conclude with team action planning and wrap up with an evaluation.
Let's meet the amazing team supporting this project out of the University of Cincinnati Systems Development and Improvement Center and the University of Texas Meadows Center for Preventing Educational Risk. Monica Devota, Rachel Evans, Jomar Severa Gonzalez, Heidi Kleinman, Michelle Moore, Colleen Reutebuch, and Sarah Smith. We're all excited to work with you and help make family engagement stronger. If at any point during the project you have questions or concerns, please feel free to contact any one of us.
Let's kick off this session in a fun way, introductions via emoji. Some of you may be gathered together virtually, listening to this video together. There may be people in the room that you have not yet met. Please take a moment to introduce yourself, then pick one emoji that represents how you are feeling right now and draw it on a piece of paper. It could be something that shows excitement, curiosity, or even a little nervousness, whatever fits your mood. Share this emoji with your team.
Press pause to complete this introduction activity or keep going if you are taking the training alone. Welcome back. Let's outline the key learning outcomes for today's session. Here's what we'll accomplish together. First, we'll describe the Family Cafe project goals and outcomes. This gives you a clear picture of what the project is designed to achieve. Next, we'll reflect on core beliefs about family engagement and explore ways to engage all families, especially those who move frequently. These beliefs guide how we build strong partnerships. We'll also consider ways to collaborate with family coaches to engage with families. Finally, we'll have planning time for your team. By the end of this session, you'll have a solid foundation for working with families and supporting the Family Cafe process.
Now that we have a pretty good idea of what our time together will look like, let's discuss what Family Cafe is all about. First, it is helpful to know that Family Cafe is an acronym which stands for Family Centered to Advance Family Engagement. The Family Cafe works with schools to promote family engagement for students with disabilities, particularly those that are highly mobile. Why? Because when families are engaged, it leads to better outcomes for students with disabilities, especially those who are highly mobile and face additional challenges. In short, the goal is to create systems and strategies that make family engagement practical, sustainable, and impactful, so every student has the support they need to succeed.
It may be helpful to know that Family Cafe is a relatively new grant-funded program to support family engagement for students with disabilities. To give you a bit of historical context for this program, the project team used a phased approach with the Family Cafe model as we created this framework. We started with a pilot in Ohio, where the framework and strategies were tested and refined. After learning from that experience, the next step was to expand the project to Texas. This phased approach allows us to make adjustments based on real-world feedback before scaling up. The goal is to ensure the model is practical, effective, and ready to support families in different contexts. You may have noticed in our goal statement that a big focus area for the Family Cafe program is that it focuses on highly mobile students with disabilities. Highly mobile students experience frequent changes in their living situation and school attendance. Let's discuss who highly mobile students typically are and why we focus on highly mobile students.
The highly mobile family demographic tends to be military families who relocate due to service assignments, families from migrant backgrounds, often moving for seasonal work, families who are homeless, facing housing instability, and children in foster care who may move between placements. Each of these situations can create unique challenges for continuity in education and access to services. Understanding who these families are helps us think about how to provide consistent support and engagement. Some of the educational challenges faced by highly mobile students include disrupted learning, instability, lower achievement, and greater need for support. Let's look at each of these in further detail. Highly mobile children frequently experience disrupted learning. Frequent moves often mean students change schools, which can interrupt instruction and make it hard to keep up with coursework. Highly mobile children often have increased risk factors. This is because mobility can lead to stress, social isolation, and gaps in services, all of which impact learning. Highly mobile families sometimes have issues with lower achievement. Research shows that highly mobile students often score lower academically because of disruptions to learning. Highly mobile students need targeted support. These students require extra attention and resources to help them stay on track and feel connected. Understanding these challenges is the first step in creating strategies that support stability and success for highly mobile students.
Let's take a few minutes to think and share ideas around two key reflection questions with the people around you. If you are alone, you may wish to focus your thoughts by journaling.
The first question asks us to consider, why focus on highly mobile families? You may want to consider what makes this group particularly important when we talk about family engagement and student success.
Let's also reflect upon the unique challenges for school success that these students have. You should consider what barriers these families and students face and how those challenges impact learning.
This is your chance to share insights and experiences with your team. The goal is to build a shared understanding of why this work matters and what issues we need to address together.
Press pause and discuss these questions.
Thank you for reflecting on these questions. Now, let's return to our presentation. Next, we will discuss the Family Cafe Framework model, represented by the graphic on this slide. Remember, Family Cafe stands for Family Center to Advance Family Engagement, and its focus is on supporting families of children with disabilities. You can see families of children of disabilities at the center of the framework. We will now explore each of these surrounding components on this graphic one by one. The first key component of the Family Cafe framework we will discuss is professional learning for family coaches. Family Cafe provides professional learning for coaches.
Coaches play an essential role in supporting families with children with disabilities. To do this effectively, they need ongoing training and resources. Professional learning ensures coaches have the knowledge, skills, and confidence to guide families through complex processes in special education. This component is all about building capacity. When coaches are well prepared, families feel more supported, and students benefit from stronger partnerships between home and school.
The second key component of the Family Cafe framework is peer coaching for families. Peer coaching is about creating opportunities for families to learn from and support each other. When families connect with others who have similar experiences, they gain practical advice, emotional support, and confidence in navigating school systems. This approach builds community and reduces isolation. Families realize they are not alone facing challenges. Peer coaching can happen through group sessions, informal networks, or structured programs that pair families together. The goal is simple: empower families by leveraging the strength of shared experiences.
The next component of the CAFE framework is clear family policy. What does this mean? It means making sure that the rules, procedures, and expectations that affect families are easy to understand and accessible. Too often, policies are written in complex language or buried in places that families can't easily find. By simplifying language and sharing policies in multiple formats, like online, in print, and during meetings, we help families feel informed and empowered. We provide resources such as the Parent Guide to help parents navigate the special education system.
Another component of the CAFE framework is professional learning for school teams. Just like families need support, school teams also need training and resources to strengthen family engagement. This professional learning focuses on equipping educators with strategies to build meaningful partnerships with families of children with disabilities. The learning covers topics like effective communication, culturally responsive practices, and ways to collaborate during processes such as IEP development. When school teams have the right tools and knowledge, they can create a welcoming environment where families feel valued and included.
This final component of the CAFE framework is our curated website. This website is designed to be a one-stop resource for families and school teams. It brings together tools, guides, and information that support family engagement, making it easy to find what you need without searching through multiple sources.
Our goal is usability. Families and educators can quickly access reliable, relevant resources that help them navigate special education processes, understand policies, and strengthen partnerships.
Now you have a pretty good understanding of what the Family Cafe framework looks like. So let's discuss important roles within the Family Cafe program. The first role we will discuss is the important role that coaches play in the program. Family Cafe coaches provide free support and special education resources to highly mobile families. They walk alongside families as they navigate the special education process, helping them understand their rights, access services, and feel confident in advocating on behalf of their child. The main purpose of peer coaching is to improve family engagement, especially for families who are highly mobile and may face extra challenges staying connected to schools.
In short, the goal is to make sure families never feel alone in this journey. They have someone knowledgeable and supportive to guide them every step of the way.
Who are the coaches supporting? Coaches support two primary groups.
The first group are families of children with disabilities. These families often need guidance and resources to navigate special education and advocate for their child.
And our second group are families of children suspected of having a disability. These families may be in the early stages of evaluation or trying to understand what supports are available. By focusing on both groups, Family Cafe coaches help ensure that families get the information and support they need, whether they're already in the special education process or just beginning the journey.
Let's look at what peer coaching is and what it's not. On the left, under what it is, peer coaches are about supporting and empowering families so they feel confident in navigating the education system, guiding and problem solving, helping families think through options and next steps, maintaining confidentiality to build trust, providing resources that families can use to advocate for their child. On the right, under what it is not, peer coaching does not mean advocating on behalf of families or taking sides in disputes, giving legal advice or acting as a lawyer, providing counseling or therapy, fixing problems for families. Coaches help families find solutions, but they don't do the work for them. The goal is to empower families, not replace their voice or professional services.
Coaches receive the same training content school teams utilize, but there are also additional options for coaches to learn about special education with the family, cafe resources, and training options as well.
The next role we will discuss is the role of school teams. School teams are critical to the success of Family Cafe. The team will strengthen family engagement best practices by reviewing what's working already within their district and identify areas for improvement. School team members will also collaborate with the Family Cafe coach by working together to ensure families get the support they need. And finally, the team will create and implement an action plan to support highly mobile families. This means setting clear steps to make sure these families feel connected and informed.
The main aim for the school team is to build or improve strong partnerships between schools and families, especially for those who face extra challenges.
Now that you have a good understanding of the framework of Family Cafe and roles within the Family Cafe, we will turn to family engagement. We will look at why family engagement is so important and strategies to improve family engagement. First, let's review why family engagement matters. There are 3 key reasons why family engagement matters. Partnership and student achievement are closely linked. When families and schools work together, students do better academically and socially. Partnerships help build and sustain public support for schools. Strong family-school relationships create trust and strengthen the school community. Families and communities can help schools overcome challenges. When schools face obstacles, engaged families can be powerful allies in finding solutions.
Please note, the image on the right shows the book Beyond the Bake Sale, which is a well-known resource on building effective family-school partnerships. It reminds us that family engagement goes far beyond traditional activities. It's about creating meaningful collaboration that impacts student success. Let's take a closer look at these 4 core beliefs of Family Cafe, especially through the lens of families who move often.
First, all parents have dreams for their children and want the best for them. No matter where a family comes from or how often they move, parents share the same hope that their child will succeed and thrive. Keeping that in mind helps us approach every family with respect and understanding. Second, all parents have the capacity to support their children's learning. That support might look different from family to family. Maybe it's helping with homework, maybe it's encouraging a love of reading, but every parent brings something valuable to the table. Third, parents and school staff should be equal partners. Building strong relationships means sharing responsibility and decision-making. For highly mobile families, this partnership is even more important because they often have less time to connect before the next move. And finally, the responsibility for building those partnerships rests primarily with school staff, especially school leaders. Families may not always know how to navigate a new school system, so it's up to us to create a welcoming environment and reach out first. These beliefs remind us that strong family-school partnerships don't happen by chance. They happen because we make them a priority.
Let's take a moment to think about what family engagement means to your team. How do you define it? What does it look like in practice? Hit pause to discuss with your team. If you are alone, please journal or reflect about these questions.
Now, let's think about looking at engagement through the lens of highly mobile families. What would you add to your previous thoughts? Hit pause and talk to your group or reflect in your journal.
Let's walk through the 7 key strategies for engaging families effectively. Treat parents as experts and show them their input is valued. Parents know their children best, so their voice should always matter in decision making. Practice responsive family engagement. Be aware that not every family communicates in the same way. Practice effective and reciprocal communication with family members. Communication should go both ways. Schools share information and families feel comfortable sharing their perspectives. Commit to developing inclusive, empowering, consensus-building processes. Families should feel like true partners in creating individualized education programs, not just participants. Start transition planning early and connect families to services for all aspects of a full life. Planning for life after school should begin well before graduation, and families need access to resources that support long-term success. Support children and youth in their family engagement through inclusion and self-advocacy. Students should have a voice in their own education and be encouraged to advocate for themselves. Provide mentors as a support for families. Mentors can guide families through complex processes and help them feel less alone.
These strategies work together to build trust, strengthen partnerships, and ensure families feel supported every step of the way.
Peer coaching for families and connects to one of the key strategies we discussed earlier, providing mentors as a support for families. The idea behind this strategy is that families often benefit from guidance and encouragement from someone who understands their experiences. Mentors can help families navigate complex systems and feel less isolated.
For this project, instead of using traditional mentors, the support comes through Family Cafe coaches. These coaches are trained to work alongside families, offering resources, answering questions, and helping them build confidence in advocating for their children.
You'll also notice the word bud and the label potential on the slide. This signals that peer coaching is an area with great potential for growth. It's something we can continue to strengthen as we build family engagement practices. Let's take a 5-minute break. Press pause and set a time to return with your group. If you don't need a break, the video will move to the next slide.
Welcome back. For our next segment, we will discuss our multi-tiered approach for family engagement. You likely already know about this approach from an intervention perspective, but it is also useful to think about when working with families. Tier 1 is the foundation. It's the universal, school-wide support system designed for all families. Think of it as the baseline level of engagement that every family should experience. At this tier, schools set the tone by establishing a positive school culture and clearly communicating expectations for both behavior and learning. The goal of Tier 1 is to make sure that most families' needs are met through these universal supports. When schools do this well, families feel welcomed, informed, and connected right from the start. This tier is about creating an environment where engagement isn't just for a few, it's for everyone. An example of this Tier 1 family approach may be a welcome back to school night, where all parents meet their child's teacher and learn about resources, events, and supports taking place at the school. Tier 1 is for all families. It's the universal support system, but sometimes some families need a little more help. That's where Tier 2 comes in.
Tier 2 provides targeted programs and strategies for groups of families who need additional support. These supports are based on specific needs and are more frequent and more intensive than Tier 1.
Think of Tier 2 as the extra layer of connection. Maybe it's small group meetings, topical workshops, or personalized communication for families who need more guidance to stay engaged. The goal is to make sure these families don't fall through the cracks and have what they need to support their child's learning.
Tier 3 focuses on a very small number of individual families who face unique challenges and need more than what Tier 2 offers. These supports are highly individualized and designed to meet the specific needs of each family. Think of Tier 3 as personalized interventions, things like one-on-one meetings, customized plans, or connecting families with specialized resources. The goal is to remove barriers and make sure these families can fully engage and support their child's learning. So, in summary, Tier 1 is universal, Tier 2 is targeted for groups, and Tier 3 is individualized for families with the greatest needs.
Let's reflect on Tier 1, 2, and 3 family engagement supports that you are aware of in your school using this rose and thorn reflection. This format can help you reflect upon successes, challenges, and opportunities. The rose represents success, something that went well, or a positive experience. Think about a successful family support. The thorn represents a challenge, something that was difficult or didn't go as planned.
Think about a family support or interaction that did not go as planned. And the bud represents potential, an idea or opportunity that could grow into something great. Think about something you would like to try. Now, take some time to collaborate. Turn and talk with a partner to share your rose, bud, and thorn. It's a great way to celebrate wins, acknowledge obstacles, and look ahead to what's possible. Press pause now to complete this activity.
Welcome back. Now we will discuss next steps, resources, and then you will have time to get started with some action planning as a team. It is important to develop a plan to connect with Family Cafe coaches. Please consider, what will be your communication protocols? It is helpful for the school to identify a point person for communicating with the Family Cafe coach. That point person should establish communication channels for the coaches that work best for everyone.
A quick word about a valuable resource before we move on to planning. Ohio State University has a guide called Partnering with Families Through Special Education that we highly recommend as a team. This resource guide is a valuable resource that can support your planning process. It is available online as a free download.
Now you have a solid foundation for what the Family Cafe is all about. You know about the goals to promote family engagement for families of students with disabilities, especially highly mobile students. You understand the framework and roles of the school team and coaches. You have learned about family engagement, why it is important, and we have discussed several strategies. You have reflected and discussed about family engagement supports with each other. Now, it is time for team planning. The table shown here is your Family Cafe School Team Action Plan. It's a simple tool to help organize and track what needs to happen after today's session. Here's how it works. In the Action Step column, write down the specific tasks your team will take to strengthen family engagement. In the Person Responsible column, identify who will lead each task. Add a due date so everyone knows the timeline. And finally, use the Notes section for any extra details or reminders. This plan helps keep everyone accountable and ensures that great ideas turn into real actions that support families. Before you begin planning with your team, let's finish up this video with a note of thanks. This is our closing slide.
We hope the session gave you useful strategies and resources for partnering with families. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to one of our team members.
Your feedback is important to us, so please take a moment to complete the evaluation form. Thank you again for your commitment to supporting families in Family Cafe. Please let us know if there is anything we can do to support your team planning. Please use the rest of the time to collaborate and plan. We are looking forward to hearing about what you come up with.